going to talk about the creation, like how you can really have the thing that you want and what do you need to do to get it. There's so many methodologies about manifesting, visualization, creation. I do believe you when you're running a business, you have to have a strong business strategy and model, and there's got to be a lot of things in place. But I've also said that you are the blueprint for your life and business. And so if you can be in that expectation and you can be the creator of that reality, then guess what? Things go faster, more success comes your way, and guess what? It all works out. I've had so many amazing things happen to me in the course of my lifetime, but especially in the last few years, practicing what I'm going to share with you today. I believe that when you decide that it's yours or that it's on its way or that you are in the expectation of the thing that you want, you'll have it. And the only way that that's going to happen is if you have this conviction about the thing that you desire. If you're like, well, I'm getting it no matter what, like I'm having it, it's just mine, it's done, right? That type of energy. And if you look back on the course of your life and how many times that you got the thing that you wanted, I can guarantee you probably were in that type of energy, like it was just coming, it was mine. And when we're trying to create the outcomes, we want to be in a state of this is happening, right? And I always ask my clients, like, why do you think it's not happening for you? Why do you think it's not coming to fruition? What gets in the way? And many of the times, we did this just recently, and this is what their answers were. Like, why don't you have the thing that you want, right? They'll look at their reality, and their reality is showing them that it's not here. So, of course, that's what they're going to keep thinking. Well, it's not here, so it's not coming. They think that it has to be really hard to show up. They feel like they may not be deserving of it, or some feel like they're deserving of it, but they're not sure, like, why it's not happening. They're not really open to receiving it. They feel the sabotage is there. They're creating the resistance to it. They feel like it's so far away, it's impossible to have the thing that they want. They feel like maybe some of this is resonating with you, right? They feel like they're not sure how they're going to get it. Like, where is it coming from? And if you don't read Neville Goddard, you should go read up on him and listen to some of his old lectures. One of the things that and I shared this in some of my groups this week, because I listened to like a small training on his lecture, which I love listening to stuff. It's one of the things that I feel like I tapped into at a very early state because I've done a lot of emotional work, because really you've got to feel it for it to be real. And, one of Neville Goddard's teaching is feeling it is the secret, right? I read that book way after I started doing the emotional mastery work, but it's true. And this is why I teach women the very first, program that they have to go through in my world is accessing the quantum through emotional self-mastery. That program helps you really get your emotions into the state of, being, receiving, clearing, not having the blocks, being open to all the things. Because although women think that they're emotional, they feel like they have their emotions under control, they feel like they know a lot. When they come into my world, they're like, and they'll all say to me, I've done so much work, until they come to my world and they're like, oh my gosh, we didn't do this work, right? Because I understand that in order to be a clean, energetic frequency to the desires that you want, you have to have this emotional state that's going to bring that in, right? You have to really feel it to believe it so that it happens. So while people might say they want certain things, they actually don't really feel it all the way through, because what will happen is the doubt will come up because their environment, they'll look around and be like, well, I'm looking around, I don't see the thing right here now. So doubt will creep in. So they'll start creating this resistance around it, right? And when you have resistance, guess what? Things come to a halt. There's no momentum anymore for the thing to come through. So I ask people, why don't you think you don't have, why, I'm asking you right now, why don't you think you have the thing that you want, right? Well, there's divine time. I don't believe in all that. I believe that it's on its way. I believe that it's coming to me. If I desire, it's on its way. I was recently featured in Forbes for an article about receiving. If you have not gone to read it yet, go read it. It's a whole article. Bianca is amazing. She's a journalist. She wrote this article in such a beautiful way that actually really expresses the work that I do. But in this article, the reason why I talk about receiving is that a lot of women think that it's like, something so small, but it's on a deeper level of what I teach when it comes to receiving, right? Many times women can't receive support in their businesses. This is why they haven't gone to the next level, because they're micromanagers, they're in their wounded masculine, so they're blocking the receiving, right? So if you are not having a clear vessel to receive in the right emotional state, You could want something all day long and it still won't show up. You can desire it all day long and it still won't show up for you because you're not open to actually receiving the thing. I believe that I always get what I want. And many people would say they do too. Okay, so why don't you have the thing? There's got to be something there, right? There's got to be a belief. There's got to be something in the way because you would have it by now. Now, for example, someone who is 5'2" might want to play in the NBA. If that person wants it really badly or they're really good at what they do, there's going to be a chance that they're going to get a chance to get in the NBA. It's going to be slim, but if they have all their belief systems behind, if they can get over the fact that they're only 5'2" and everybody else in the NBA is 7 foot, whatever, their possibility of getting there. And is it crazy false beliefs? Maybe, because when you're in this state, you're not looking to be realistic or looking at reality, because reality is already a manifested state, right? It's already done. When you want to create something that's so extraordinary, it doesn't make sense. It's not something that makes sense to you. It's something that other people go like, whoa, she's crazy, right? What does she want that for? But it's something that hits your soul. It's a desired, right, state of your beingness. So, for example, when I wanted to, even my Cartier, when I wanted the Cartier, I saw another woman with it on her wrist, and I was like, that's going to be mine one day. And guess what? It was mine one day. I said I was going to be a millionaire. I said 1 year from today, I have the video, I'm going to be a millionaire. Guess what? 1 year from that day, I became a millionaire. Well, how did that happen? I expected it. I thought everybody who started an online business made $1 million because I just saw everybody doing it. And I don't know if they made it, which way they made it, but I just saw a lot of people making $1 million. I'm like, well, they can, I can. So that was my belief system. That was my expectation. So I just stayed open to it. I had stayed open to the possibility that it could happen. And guess what? It happened because I didn't sit there and poo-poo it. I didn't keep looking around for evidence all day long. Where is it? Where's the million? I need evidence of it because I just assumed that it was coming my way. And so I was going to have it, right? When I was doing a bodybuilding show, I just assumed I was going to win and I was going to do a great job because I was so dedicated at it. Well, guess what? I won and I did a great job and my body got so lean. I did it. I went and did a triathlon. I almost drowned, but that's a whole nother story, but I still finished it. I did a great job. And then I inspired other people because I did it. And then they continued doing triathlons for a decade after me. It's like you have to be in the belief and then take the action in it. You have to have the expectation that it's going to work. And many times, most people are already ready to poo-poo an idea. They're looking for so much evidence to hold their own faith because they can't do it by themselves. They're looking for things to keep confirming. Is this the right thing I'm doing? Is it going to work out? They can't hold the faith themselves. So while manifesting might be easy for some people, it's because they know that they get to have what they want. They're holding that faith. They're not giving up on the idea that they get to have the thing that they want or they desire, right? It's coming. They might not see it today, next week, a month from now, but they know it's on its way. They're not losing faith in the fact that it's on its way. This is where it's happening comes from. I came up with that mantra to help myself get into that state of belief that it's coming, it's happening. And when you have expectation, you have this conviction. Well, of course it's going to work out. Of course it's coming. I wanted to be in Forbes for the longest time, but I wanted to do it in the most ethical way. I didn't want to pay for it. I've never paid for PR. I've never paid for any kind of media. I didn't want to partner. I didn't want to become a Forbes member and write the article myself. I wanted a real journalist and I didn't want just my name mentioned in it so I can just say, I was featured in Forbes just to have the logo. It wasn't for that. I wanted an article that was going to share the work that I did and get it out into the world. And guess what? It happened. It took a couple of years. But guess what? It happened. I wanted a G-Wagon. I had it on my phone for a year. It happened. It didn't make any sense to have one because they weren't making any back at the time because they had slowed down. They weren't shipping them over. Nothing was happening. But it happened. And I allow myself to hold the faith even when people were doubting me and saying, where's the G-Wagon? When is it coming? I thought you had one. I would talk about it like it was already mine. So in Neville Goddard's teaching, Neville was looking to go to the Bahamas to meet Abdullah. And you got to go listen to the training if you want to get more. And it might be just over too many people's heads. But one of the things that Abdullah was telling Neville Goddard was, Neville, you can't say you want to go to the Barbados. You have to say, I am in the Barbados. I am in Barbados. I'm already there. You have to act as if it's completely done. You have to be in the state of that this is here. You get your emotions in there. And if you don't have enough emotional mastery to get your state to be in there, and unless you're like a narcissist because they don't have any emotions so they can trick themselves into shit, but that's a whole nother episode. But if you have, to be like, yeah, this is going to work. And sometimes we have people who are big dreamers. Steve Jobs. He had this thing in him where he was like, he was going to keep going no matter what. Not the happiest man in the world, from what I understand. Did get sick. But he had this vision. He had this expectation. He had these crazy ideas. And he couldn't shut them down because he was like, they drove him. It was just going to work. Right? And now we have iPhones because of it. Right? We have so much technology from this man believing in that the expectation of it is going to work. And that just keeps spreading. So what do you want? What do you desire? What is it that you want to create for your life? If you walk around, and this is like some people are like, I am a millionaire, and then they have no emotions attached to it. Okay, so you're a millionaire. What does a millionaire do? Where do you go with being a millionaire? How does having $1 million, what does it do? How does it change your life? What do you get from that experience? How do you feel? Like, what is coming from it? You can't just ask for cash and just be sitting there. I mean, you can, but what is the emotional connection to it, right? What are you connecting yourself to it? Why do you, I always tell my clients, don't ask to make the money. Ask how many clients do you want to impact? If you can start putting a number on the people that you want to impact, it would change everything. If you're looking to, and let's say you have a $5,000 offer and you want to make $50,000 next month. Well, you see and you feel 10 people coming into your world. You get behind the impact, how much you can change their lives with your work. You get connected to that frequency. It's a game changer. Instead of, I want to make $50,000, right? It just doesn't, there's that, unless you get into the money frequency, unless you're so cool with money and you can be like, bring it all in, it's going to be a little harder for some people that way, right? So we go and we take this beautiful place of creating the reality that we want with the emotions that we have. So what is your desires? I am in Barbados. I am a multimillionaire. I said I was going to be a millionaire and it happened. I am a multimillionaire now. There's so many things that I've created with my life. Get fully in it with your whole heart. Let your visions also support it. You have to be the big dreamer. And don't tell anybody if they can't support it, because people will come and poo-poo your ideas all the time. That's why you get into masterminds and groups like mine, where we are big dreaming. We are doing the next big thing. We're allowing ourselves to go beyond what society tells us is okay. We're allowed to get into the next level of like, how big can it go? How big can it go? How big can we can have this? Because guess what? If it's there and available for you, you can have it. You can have it. So expectation, conviction, knowing that it's yours, allowing yourself to be like, I'm looking for a man or I'm looking for a client. I have the client. I have this. It's done. And if you get this feedback where you get this resistance, you got to journal it through. I got a great journaling program. Message my team and I'll see if they can sell it to you. It's like $111 or something. Go get it. I'll teach you my methods of how I got into this space. You want to be able to just decide and then receive. And it is that easy. And the more that you start seeing it work, the less doubt you'll have. If I can manifest a G-Wagon, I can manifest Cartier, I can manifest being a millionaire, I can manifest so many things in my life. There's nothing that I cannot manifest. There's nothing that I cannot have. I will expect it all. It's just how open to receiving I am. How open am I to receiving it? Can I receive it? Go read the Forbes article too. It's going to help you out. I have another program called Heal to Receive. If you haven't taken that, you should. It'll help you. I hope that you found some value in this. Remember, expectation, conviction, receiving. I am there. It is done. Look and see and visualize it being done every day. Be in that energy. If you've got to be like a child would be. You cannot let the reality of things or look at your environment dictate anything else. You have to overcome what's showing you why it can't happen and be in the state of course it is. Of course it's coming. Of course it's on its way. Do not lose that faith. It is there for you. All right. Come join us in the Quantum Woman group. Request access there. Download our freebies that we've got. Go grab Unlocking the Quantum Woman. It's going to give you the steps to unlocking what you need to do to create that reality. If you haven't read this book yet, join one of our programs, book a call with me. Also, we've got a 3-day masterclass coming up. I would get on it and join us and get more of this yumminess. And if you found value in this, please leave me a review. I would love it if you leave me a review. And I'm sure you're subscribed because you're listening. And tag me on social media. I would love that. Let other people know about this because we are living in abundance. And we need more women who are living unapologetically rich because we get to have it all. And rich means so many different things. It means the richness in life, and wealth and love and opportunities and getting to have it all. All right. Take care and stay tuned for another episode. Bye for now.